Hi folks, this is Jim at your Jiffy Customer Support Network. In this segment we're going to cover the proper procedure for changing the throttle control on all Jiffy ice drills powered with the Jiffy two-stroke engine. The first step we're going to be taking to replace the throttle cable is first of all remove the throttle lever from the operator control handle on the spark plug side of the unit. Just remove that with a Phillips screwdriver. Unscrew that thread until the control handle comes loose. The next step we're going to want to take is to remove the air cleaner cover, carburetor cover combination using a Phillips screwdriver. Loosen it up till it's totally loose. That screw is recessed in there. You want to make sure you grab that screw out of there because we'll need that to remount it after a while. We're going to go ahead and remove the wires to the stop on switch. The red wires on the right, the black wires on the left. Then we'll remove the inner air cleaner cover, the air filter element, and then we'll be removing the air cleaner back plate. Now the screws that hold that back plate on also hold the carburetor to the side of the engine, so it holds this entire assembly. And these screw heads, you can have two different types of screw heads that you'll note when you take off all the covers. It can either be a Phillips head, which is on this unit, or an Allen head type. So depending on what you find when you take those covers off, you're going to want to adjust the type of tool you use, so that's important to note that. Loosen those up till they're loose. Then you'll want to pull the air cleaner and the studs out. Now you note there's also a gasket between the carburetor adapter and the carburetor. You want to set that aside because we'll use that to remount everything after a while. So then we'll want to remove the throttle wire from the throttle lever on the carburetor using a long nose needle or needle nose pliers. Disconnect that. And then the next thing we'll do is remove the actual throttle cable from the bracket on the carburetor by loosening that retention nut. And we'll just spin that cable, get this straight first, spin that cable until that cable unscrews from the bracket on the side of the carb. Now the next step to remount the new throttle cable is to screw that cable into the mounting bracket on the side of the carburetor. And you'll note that you'll start seeing the threads of the cable come through the top of that bracket. You're going to thread that in there till you see about maybe one thread come through the top of that cable. Then you'll want to tighten that assembly up. We'll go ahead and remount the throttle wire. One thing you're going to want to note, there's a larger opening in the throttle wire mounting bracket, and you'll note that there's a ball on the end of the throttle wire. That ball has to fit in that wider opening. If you look at the other side, you'll see it's just a slot the size of the regular slot versus the wider opening on the other side. So when you remount that, we'll slide the throttle up in here a little bit. Make sure that that ball fits down into that wider end of that. Then we'll want to take the air cleaner backplate assembly and take those studs, oops, Push those studs through the carburetor. Remember the gasket that was between the carburetor and the carburetor adapter. We want to put that back in position, then go ahead and mount that assembly back to the adapter plate. Tighten those up nice and snug, and we'll remount the foam element. Then the inner air cleaner cover. We'll note that there's a larger tab on one side than the other. The larger tab goes on the right side. Put that back in place. And then the next thing, we'll remount the wires to the control switch. Again, the red wire goes on the right side and the black wire goes on the left side. And we'll go ahead and remount the carburetor air cleaner cover. Get that back in position. Tighten that up so it's nice and snug. And we'll go ahead and remount the throttle cable back on the operator handle. Just turn that, tighten that up until the mounting screw is nice and tight and the throttle control snugs up nice to the side of the control handle. You'll just want to make sure that, looking through the slots in the side of the cover, making sure that the throttle control on the side of the carburetor, the lever, operates freely with the control lever. But that basically concludes the proper procedure for changing the throttle cable on all Jiffy two-stroke powered units. If you have any questions or concerns regarding the procedure to change this throttle control, please feel free to contact us at the 2 locations noted on the screen. I'd like to take this time to thank you for your continued support of Jiffy products and also the purchase of your Jiffy ice drill. Thanks and have a great day.